Imagine looking back at your life in 20 years. What would you do differently? The ancient Greek and Roman philosophers asked the same questions, and their answers can still help us today. Their knowledge is all about living with purpose, courage, and self-awareness. In this video, we'll explore inspiring quotes from great thinkers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca. Their ideas aren't just old philosophy, they're practical tips for living a better life. So, take a moment to think. What small change can you make today to create a life you'll be proud of? Let's dive in and discover some timeless wisdom together. Before we get started, let me know what kind of topic you'd like to see next. I have a bunch of ideas, like Chinese philosophy, modern philosophy, or philosophers from specific countries. I also enjoy psychology, so maybe you'd like to see a video about psychological facts. Now let's go. Socrates. Know thyself. These two simple words, know thyself, were inscribed at the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, and they remain one of the most profound pieces of wisdom from ancient Greece. Socrates believed that true wisdom begins with self-awareness. To know yourself is to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, and your fears. It's about looking inward, asking the hard questions, and being honest with who you are. When you truly know yourself, you can live authentically, make better decisions, and find peace within. Take a moment to reflect. Who are you really? And how can you live in alignment with your true self? The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This powerful statement reminds us that life is more than just going through the motions. It's about questioning, reflecting, and seeking meaning. If we never pause to examine our choices, our beliefs, or our purpose, we risk living a life that feels empty or unfulfilled. Ask yourself, are you living intentionally? Are you making choices that align with your values? Remember, the act of self-reflection is not just a philosophical exercise, it's the key to a life well lived. I know that I know nothing. One of Socrates' most famous quotes is, "I know that I know nothing." At first, this might sound contradictory, but it's actually a profound acknowledgement of humility. Socrates understood that true wisdom comes from recognizing the limits of our knowledge. When we admit that we don't have all the answers, we open ourselves to learning, growth, and new perspectives. Let this quote remind you to stay curious, stay humble, and embrace the beauty of not knowing. After all, the journey of learning is endless, and that's what makes life so fascinating. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. Socrates believed that wisdom isn't about having all the answers, it's about understanding how much we still have to learn. This quote invites us to embrace the mystery of life. It's a call to remain open-minded, to question our assumptions, and to seek deeper understanding. Let this thought comfort you. It's okay not to have everything figured out. Life is a journey of discovery, and every moment is an opportunity to learn something new. There is only one good, knowledge, and only one evil, ignorance. Socrates taught that knowledge is the greatest good, while ignorance is the root of all evil. But what does this mean for us today? It's a reminder that education, curiosity, and understanding are the keys to a better life. When we seek knowledge, we empower ourselves to make better choices, to overcome challenges, and to live with purpose. Ignorance, on the other hand, keeps us trapped in fear and misunderstanding. Let this quote inspire you to keep learning, to keep growing, and to never stop seeking the truth. The soul is immortal and cannot be destroyed. Socrates believed that the soul is eternal, a spark of the divine within each of us. This idea offers comfort, especially in times of uncertainty or loss. If the soul is immortal, then our actions, our thoughts, and our love have a lasting impact. Let this thought bring you peace. You are more than your body, more than your struggles. You are a soul on a journey, and every moment is an opportunity to grow, to love, and to leave a legacy that transcends time. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. Socrates challenges us to live authentically, to align our actions with our ideals. So often we pretend to be someone we're not, to fit in, to please others, or to avoid judgment. But true honor comes from being true to ourselves. Ask yourself, are you living in alignment with your values? Are you being the person you aspire to be? Remember, the greatest act of courage is to live as your true self, unapologetically and with integrity. Wisdom begins in wonder. Socrates believed that wonder is the starting point of all wisdom. When we look at the world with curiosity and awe, we open ourselves to new ideas, new perspectives, and new possibilities. Wonder reminds us that life is full of beauty and mystery, even in the smallest moments. Let yourself wonder. Wonder about the stars, about the nature of existence, about the infinite possibilities of your own life, because in wonder we find not just wisdom, but also joy. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. In a world that constantly tells us to want more, Socrates offers a different perspective. True happiness comes from appreciating what we already have. It's about finding contentment in simplicity and cultivating gratitude for the present moment. Take a deep breath and think about the things that truly matter, the people you love, the experiences that bring you joy, the beauty of the world around you. Happiness isn't about having more, it's about being more present, more grateful, more alive. He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. Socrates reminds us that contentment is a state of mind, not a result of external circumstances. If we're always chasing the next thing, the next goal, the next possession, the next achievement, we'll never truly be satisfied. True contentment comes from within, from appreciating what we have and finding peace in the present moment. Let this quote be a gentle reminder. You already have everything you need to be happy. The key is to recognize it. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. This quote is one of Socrates' most famous teachings and lies at the heart of his philosophy. It emphasizes the importance of humility and self-awareness. Socrates believed that true wisdom begins with recognizing the limits of our knowledge. When we admit that we don't have all the answers, we open ourselves to learning, growth, and new perspectives. This quote challenges us to stay curious, to question our assumptions, and to remain open to the possibility that we might be wrong. It's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey, and the more we learn, the more we realize how much we still have to discover. To find yourself, think for yourself. Socrates was a strong advocate for independent thinking and self-reflection. This quote encourages us to take responsibility for our own understanding and not to rely blindly on the opinions of others. In a world full of information and influences, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. Socrates reminds us that true self-discovery comes from questioning, exploring, and forming our own opinions. It's a call to break free from societal pressures and to live authentically, guided by our own values and beliefs. Be as you wish to seem. Authenticity was central to Socrates' philosophy. This quote challenges us to align our actions with our values and to live genuinely, rather than pretending to be someone we're not. Often we wear masks to fit in or to please others, but Socrates believed that true integrity comes from being true to ourselves. This quote is a reminder to live with honesty and to strive to be the person we aspire to be, both in private and in public. It's about living a life of consistency and authenticity, where our inner self matches our outward actions. The unexamined life is not worth living. This powerful statement is one of Socrates' most enduring teachings. He believed that self-reflection is essential for a meaningful life. Without examining our beliefs, choices, and purpose, we risk living a life that feels empty or unfulfilled. This quote challenges us to pause and ask ourselves, are we living intentionally? Are we making choices that align with our values? Socrates reminds us that the act of self-reflection is not just a philosophical exercise, it's the key to a life well lived. It's an invitation to live consciously and to seek meaning in everything we do. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. Socrates saw himself as a guide rather than a traditional teacher. This quote highlights his belief in the power of critical thinking and self-discovery over rote learning. Socrates didn't provide answers. Instead, he asked questions that encouraged his students to think for themselves. This approach, known as the Socratic method, is still used today in education and philosophy. It's a reminder that true learning comes from within, and that the role of a teacher is to inspire curiosity and independent thought, not to simply impart knowledge. Plato. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Plato reminds us that true wealth isn't measured by what we own, but by how content we are with what we have. In a world that constantly tells us to want more, this quote is a gentle nudge to appreciate the simple things, the warmth of the sun, the sound of the wind, the love of those around us. Let this thought comfort you. You don't need much to be happy. True richness comes from within, from a heart that is grateful and a mind that is at peace. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Plato believed that courage isn't about being fearless, it's about understanding what is truly worth fearing. So often we waste our energy worrying about things that are beyond our control or that may never happen. True courage lies in focusing on what matters and letting go of the rest. Ask yourself, what fears are holding you back? And how can you find the courage to move forward, one step at a time? The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture. Plato teaches us that material possessions are temporary, but the knowledge and wisdom we gather in this life stay with us forever. This quote invites us to focus on what truly matters, learning, growing, and becoming the best version of ourselves. Let this thought inspire you. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to grow a little wiser, and to leave a legacy that transcends time. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Plato reminds us that every journey begins with a single step. Whether you're starting a new project, pursuing a dream, or simply trying to change a habit, the first step is often the hardest, but also the most important. Think about the beginnings in your own life. What have you been putting off? What small step can you take tomorrow to move closer to your goals? Remember, every great achievement starts with the courage to begin. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Plato's words are a call to action, reminding us that we all have a responsibility to contribute to the world around us. Indifference, he warns, can lead to chaos and injustice. Let this quote inspire you to think about how you can make a difference, no matter how small, whether it's through kindness, activism, or simply being present for those in need. Every action counts. The world needs good people to stand up and care. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Plato believed that true character is revealed not by what we have, but by how we use it. Power, in any form, is a test of our values and integrity. Reflect on the power you hold, whether it's in your relationships, your work, or your community. How can you use it to uplift others and create positive change? Remember, the true measure of a person is not in their strength, but in how they use it to serve others. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Plato's words remind us that fear is a natural part of life, but it's how we face it that defines us. While it's easy to understand a child's fear of the dark, it's far more tragic when adults shy away from truth, growth, and enlightenment. Ask yourself, what fears are keeping you in the dark? And how can you step into the light, even if it feels uncomfortable? Growth begins where fear ends. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. Plato saw education as more than just the accumulation of facts. It's about learning to appreciate beauty, truth, and goodness. This quote invites us to see the world with wonder and to find beauty in the everyday. Let this thought inspire you. Life is full of beauty, from the grandeur of nature to the kindness of a stranger. Open your heart to it, and you'll find that beauty is everywhere. Ignorance, the root and stem of every evil. Plato believed that ignorance is the source of many of the world's problems. When we don't understand each other or the world around us, we make decisions that can lead to harm. But there's hope. Knowledge is the antidote to ignorance. Let this quote remind you to stay curious, to seek understanding, and to approach the world with an open mind. The more we know, the better we can be. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Plato teaches us that the hardest battles are often fought within. To conquer yourself, your fears, your doubts, your weaknesses, is the greatest victory of all. Reflect on the ways you can become stronger, kinder, and more disciplined. Remember, every small step towards self-improvement is a victory, and with each victory, you become more of the person you were meant to be. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Plato believed that love has the power to inspire creativity and beauty. This quote reflects his view that love is a transformative force that connects us to something greater than ourselves. In his dialogues, Plato often explored the idea that love elevates the soul and brings us closer to the divine. This quote is a reminder of the profound impact that love can have on our lives. It can awaken our creativity, deepen our emotions, and inspire us to see the world in new ways. Whether it's romantic love, friendship, or a love for art and nature, Plato teaches us that love enriches our lives and makes us more fully human. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. Plato saw ignorance as the source of many problems in the world. He believed that when people lack knowledge or understanding, they are more likely to act in harmful or unjust ways. This quote reminds us of the importance of education and self-awareness in overcoming wrongdoing. It's a call to seek knowledge, to question our assumptions, and to strive for a deeper understanding of the world and ourselves. Plato believed that by enlightening ourselves, we can reduce suffering and create a more just and harmonious society. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Plato believed that self-mastery is the foundation of a virtuous life. This quote encourages us to overcome our fears, desires, and weaknesses to become the best version of ourselves. In a world full of distractions and temptations, it's easy to lose sight of our goals and values. Plato reminds us that true strength comes from within, and that the greatest battles we face are often with ourselves. By conquering our inner struggles, we gain the clarity and discipline needed to live a life of purpose and integrity. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. This quote reflects Plato's belief in the importance of seeking truth and enlightenment. The light symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and self-awareness, while the dark represents ignorance and fear. Plato believed that it's natural for children to fear the unknown, but it's tragic when adults shy away from truth and growth. This quote is a call to confront our fears, to step out of our comfort zones, and to embrace the light of knowledge. It's a reminder that growth begins where fear ends, and that true fulfillment comes from seeking understanding. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Plato emphasized the importance of civic engagement and the responsibility we all have to contribute to society. This quote warns us that when good people remain silent or indifferent, they allow injustice and corruption to flourish. Plato believed that a just society depends on the active participation of its citizens. This quote is a call to action, reminding us that we all have a role to play in shaping the world around us, whether it's through voting, activism, or simply standing up for what's right. Plato teaches us that indifference is not an option if we want to create a better world. Aristotle. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Aristotle believed that happiness is not something that happens to us. It's something we create. It's a choice, a mindset, a way of living. No matter what challenges life throws at us, we have the power to find joy in the present moment. Let this thought comfort you. Happiness is within your reach. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about finding beauty in the imperfect ones. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle reminds us that greatness isn't achieved in a single moment. It's the result of small, consistent actions. Whether it's kindness, discipline, or perseverance, the habits we cultivate shape who we are. Think about the habits you want to build. What small step can you take tomorrow to move closer to your best self? Remember, every day is an opportunity to grow. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Aristotle understood that learning isn't always easy. It takes effort, patience, and sometimes even discomfort, but the rewards, wisdom, understanding, and growth are worth it. Let this quote inspire you to embrace the challenges of learning, whether it's a new skill, a difficult conversation, or a deeper understanding of yourself. The journey may be tough, but the destination is sweet. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. Aristotle saw art as a way to explore the deeper truths of life. It's not just about what we see on the surface, but about the emotions, ideas, and stories that lie beneath. Let this thought inspire you to look beyond the surface, in art, in people, and in life itself. There's always more than meets the eye, and discovering it can bring profound meaning and beauty. Friendship is a single soul dwelling in two bodies. Aristotle believed that true friendship is one of life's greatest gifts. It's a connection that goes beyond words, a bond that unites two people at the deepest level. Think about the friendships in your life. Who are the people who make you feel seen, understood, and loved? Let this quote remind you to cherish those connections, for they are the true treasures of life. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. Aristotle understood that our thoughts and ideas are the driving force behind our actions and our lives. The mind is a powerful tool, capable of creating, solving, and transforming. Let this quote inspire you to nurture your mind through learning, reflection, and curiosity. The more you invest in your mental energy, the more vibrant and fulfilling your life will become. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Aristotle reminds us that even in the hardest times, there is always hope. It's easy to lose sight of the light when we're surrounded by darkness, but that's when we need to focus the most. Let this thought comfort you. No matter how difficult life feels, there is always a way forward. Sometimes, all it takes is a shift in perspective to see the light again. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Aristotle's words remind us that life is about connection and collaboration. When we come together, whether as friends, families, or communities, we create something greater than ourselves. Let this quote inspire you to appreciate the people and experiences that make your life whole. Together, we are stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than we could ever be alone. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Aristotle believed that when we find joy in what we do, we naturally strive to do it well. Passion and purpose are the keys to excellence. Think about the work you do, whether it's your job, your hobbies, or your daily tasks. Are you finding joy in it? If not, how can you bring more passion and purpose into your life? Remember, perfection isn't about being flawless, it's about loving what you do. The wise man does not expose himself needlessly to danger, but he is brave when it is necessary. Aristotle teaches us that true courage isn't about recklessness, it's about knowing when to act and when to step back. Wisdom and bravery go hand in hand. Let this quote inspire you to face your challenges with both courage and caution. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is to take a step back, reflect, and choose your battles wisely. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Aristotle understood that learning can be challenging and sometimes even uncomfortable. However, he believed that the rewards of education, wisdom, understanding, and personal growth are worth the effort. This quote encourages us to persevere through difficulties and to embrace the challenges of learning. whether it's mastering a new skill, having a difficult conversation, or gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves. Aristotle reminds us that the journey may be tough, but the destination is sweet. It's a call to value education as a lifelong pursuit and to appreciate the growth that comes from overcoming obstacles. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. Aristotle saw art as a way to explore the deeper truths of life. He believed that art is not just about capturing the surface of things, but about revealing the emotions, ideas, and stories that lie beneath. This quote invites us to look beyond the obvious and to appreciate the meaning behind art, people, and life itself. Whether it's a painting, a piece of music, or a story, Aristotle teaches us that art has the power to connect us to something greater and to help us understand the world in a deeper way. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. Aristotle believed that our thoughts and ideas are the driving force behind our actions and our lives. The mind is a powerful tool, capable of creating, solving, and transforming. This quote reminds us to nurture our mental energy through learning, reflection, and curiosity. By investing in our minds, we can lead more vibrant and fulfilling lives. Aristotle encourages us to see the mind as the source of our vitality and to cultivate it with care, just as we would tend to a garden. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Aristotle believed that even in difficult times, there is always hope. This quote encourages us to stay resilient and to look for opportunities to grow even in adversity. When we're surrounded by darkness, it's easy to lose sight of the light, but Aristotle reminds us that this is when we need to focus the most. It's a call to shift our perspective, to find strength within ourselves, and to trust that better days are ahead. This quote is a reminder that challenges are not the end of the road, but opportunities for growth and transformation. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Aristotle emphasized the importance of unity and collaboration. This quote reminds us that we achieve more when we work together and appreciate the contributions of others. Whether it's in a family, a community, or a team, Aristotle believed that the collective effort is greater than what any individual could achieve alone. This quote is a call to value cooperation, to recognize the strengths of others, and to understand that we are all part of something bigger. It's a reminder that together we are stronger, wiser, and more capable than we could ever be on our own. Pythagoras. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Pythagoras believed that true education isn't about memorizing facts. It's about sparking curiosity and passion. Learning should ignite a fire within us, a desire to explore, question, and grow. This quote reminds us that education is not a passive process, but an active journey of discovery. It's about nurturing a love for knowledge and understanding, not just accumulating information. Let this inspire you to approach life with curiosity and wonder, always seeking to learn and grow. Learn to be silent. Let your soul be quiet and concentrated. In a world full of noise and distractions, Pythagoras emphasized the importance of silence and inner stillness. He believed that true wisdom comes from moments of quiet reflection, where we can hear the whispers of our soul and connect with deeper truths. This quote invites us to slow down, to breathe, and to listen to our inner voice. In silence, we find clarity, peace and the strength to navigate life's challenges. Friendship is one soul dwelling in two bodies. Pythagoras saw friendship as a sacred bond, a connection that transcends the physical and touches the soul. True friends are like mirrors, reflecting the best in each other and providing support, understanding, and love. This quote reminds us of the profound impact that meaningful relationships can have on our lives. Cherish the people who make your life richer and more meaningful, for they are the true treasures of life. Number is the ruler of forms and ideas, and the cause of gods and demons. Pythagoras was fascinated by the power of numbers and their role in the universe. He believed that mathematics was the key to understanding the world, from the patterns in nature to the harmony of the cosmos. This quote reflects his view that numbers are not just abstract concepts, but the foundation of reality itself. It's a reminder to appreciate the beauty and order in the world, and to seek understanding through logic and reason. Above all things, respect yourself. Pythagoras taught that self-respect is the foundation of a virtuous life. Without self-respect, we cannot truly respect others or live with integrity. This quote encourages us to value ourselves, to honor our worth, and to live in alignment with our principles. When we respect ourselves, we set the standard for how others treat us and create a life of dignity and purpose. Thales. The principle of all things is water. Thales, one of the earliest Greek philosophers, believed that water was the fundamental element of life. While modern science has expanded our understanding, his insight reminds us of the importance of simplicity and observation. This quote reflects his belief that everything in the universe is interconnected, and that understanding the basic elements of nature can reveal profound truths. It's a call to look for the essence of things, the simple foundational truths that connect us all. The most difficult thing in life is to know yourself. Thales understood that self-knowledge is the key to a meaningful life. It's easy to get caught up in the external world, but true wisdom begins with looking inward. This quote invites us to reflect on who we are, what we value, and what we truly want. Knowing yourself is the first step toward living authentically and making choices that align with your true self. Hope is the only good that is common to all men. Thales believed that hope is a universal gift, something that unites us all, no matter our circumstances. It's the light that keeps us moving forward, even in the darkest times. This quote reminds us to hold on to hope, no matter what challenges we face. Hope gives us the strength to persevere, and the belief that a brighter tomorrow is possible. Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. Thales emphasized the importance of integrity and ethical behavior. This quote is a simple yet powerful reminder to live by the same standards we expect from others. It's about taking responsibility for our actions and ensuring that we act with fairness, kindness, and respect. When we hold ourselves accountable, we create a life of honesty and trust. The happiest man is the one who is healthy in body, resourceful in soul, and teachable in nature. Thales believed that true happiness comes from a balance of physical health, mental resilience, and a willingness to learn. This quote reminds us that happiness is not just about external achievements, but about cultivating a healthy and open mind. It's a call to take care of our bodies, nurture our souls, and remain curious and open to new experiences.
Heraclitus. Everything flows,
nothing stays the same. Heraclitus taught us that change is the only constant in life. Just as a river is never the same from one moment to the next, neither are we. This quote invites us to embrace the flow of life, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to welcome the new with an open heart. Change is not something to fear, it's the essence of growth and transformation. No man ever steps in the same river twice. Heraclitus reminds us that life is constantly evolving. Every moment is unique, and every experience is fleeting. This quote encourages us to live fully in the present, to cherish each moment, and to let go of the past. Don't cling to what's gone or worry about what's to come. This moment is all we truly have. Character is destiny. Heraclitus believed that who we are shapes the course of our lives. Our choices, our values, and our actions determine our path. This quote is a call to cultivate a strong, kind, and resilient character. It's a reminder that our destiny is not determined by external circumstances, but by the person we choose to be. The sun is new each day. Heraclitus saw the world as a place of constant renewal. Each day brings new opportunities, new beginnings, and new possibilities. This quote reminds us to approach life with a sense of wonder and optimism. No matter what happened yesterday, today is a fresh start, a chance to create, to grow, and to live fully. Opposition brings concord. Out of discord comes the fairest harmony. Heraclitus believed that conflict and tension are necessary for growth and balance. Just as opposing forces create harmony in nature, challenges in life can lead to greater understanding and unity. This quote encourages us to embrace difficulties as opportunities for growth and to find beauty in the balance that comes from overcoming adversity. Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that while we can't control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This simple truth is the foundation of inner peace. Let this thought comfort you. No matter what challenges you face, you have the power to choose your perspective, and in that choice lies your strength. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius believed that our thoughts shape our reality. If we fill our minds with negativity, our lives will feel heavy and dark. But if we cultivate positive, grateful thoughts, we can find joy even in the simplest moments. Take a deep breath and focus on the good in your life. Happiness begins in the mind, and it's always within your reach. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius challenges us to stop debating and start doing. It's easy to talk about what's right, but true goodness comes from action. Let this quote inspire you to live with integrity and kindness. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Be the person you aspire to be, right here, right now. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius invites us to start each day with gratitude. Life is a gift, and every moment is an opportunity to experience its beauty. Let this thought fill your heart with appreciation. Tomorrow is a new day, a chance to breathe deeply, think clearly, and love fully. Embrace it with an open heart. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that the best way to respond to hurt is not with more hurt, but with kindness and integrity. When we rise above negativity, we reclaim our power. Let this quote remind you to choose peace over anger, love over hate. In doing so, you become the best version of yourself. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Marcus Aurelius believed that life is a series of moments, each one a gift to be cherished. Whether it's a challenge or a joy, every experience has something to teach us. Let this thought comfort you. Embrace your journey, love the people in your life, and live each moment with your whole heart. That's where true fulfillment lies. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our thoughts shape who we are. If we fill our minds with positivity, our souls will shine with light. But if we dwell on negativity, we risk becoming weighed down by darkness. Let this quote inspire you to choose your thoughts wisely. Your mind is a garden. Tend it with care. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius believed that integrity is the foundation of a good life. Every action, every word should align with our values. Let this quote guide you. Live with honesty, speak with truth, and act with kindness. In doing so, you'll find peace within yourself and respect from others. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that change is the only constant in life. But while we can't control the world around us, we can control how we respond to it. Let this thought comfort you. Life is a canvas, and your thoughts are the brush. Paint it with hope, resilience, and love. Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look. Marcus Aurelius believed that true strength comes from within. No matter what challenges you face, you have an inner well of resilience and wisdom to draw from. Let this quote remind you to trust yourself. You are stronger than you think, and you have everything you need to overcome any obstacle. Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus reminds us that life is full of challenges, but our power lies in how we respond to them. We can't control the world around us, but we can control our thoughts, our attitudes, and our actions. Let this thought comfort you. No matter what happens, you have the strength to choose your response, and in that choice lies your freedom. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus believed that true wealth isn't about what you own, it's about how little you need. When we let go of endless desires, we find contentment and peace. Let this quote inspire you to appreciate what you have. True richness comes from a grateful heart and a simple life. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epictetus challenges us to define who we want to be, and then take action to become that person. It's not enough to dream, we must also act. Let this quote guide you. Visualize your best self, and then take one small step tomorrow to move closer to that vision. Every journey begins with a single step. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus believed that true freedom comes from self-mastery. When we control our desires, our emotions, and our reactions, we become unstoppable. Let this thought inspire you to take charge of your inner world. Freedom isn't about external circumstances. It's about the peace you find within. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus reminds us that growth often requires stepping outside our comfort zone. It's okay to make mistakes, to ask questions, and to look foolish in the pursuit of wisdom. Let this quote encourage you. Don't be afraid to try, to fail, and to learn. Every mistake is a step toward becoming your best self. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Epictetus believed that humor, especially at our own expense, is a sign of wisdom and humility. When we can laugh at our mistakes and imperfections, we free ourselves from the weight of self-judgment. Let this quote remind you to take life lightly. Laughter is a gift, and it's always within your reach. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Epictetus teaches us that challenges are not obstacles. They are opportunities to discover who we truly are. When life tests us, it reveals our strength, our resilience, and our character. Let this thought inspire you. Every challenge is a chance to grow, to learn, and to become more of who you were meant to be. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus believed that true freedom comes from letting go of what we can't control and focusing on what we can. When we stop worrying about external outcomes, we find peace within ourselves. Let this quote guide you. Release what you can't change and focus on what you can. That's where true freedom lies. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Epictetus reminds us that our fears are often worse than reality. We spend so much time worrying about what might happen that we forget to live in the present. Let this thought comfort you. Most of the things you fear will never happen. Let go of anxiety and embrace the peace of the present moment. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Epictetus believed that life is a balance between effort and acceptance. We should do our best with what we can control and let go of what we can't. Let this quote inspire you. Focus on what's within your power and trust the rest to unfold as it will. Life becomes simpler when we stop trying to control everything. Seneca. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca emphasizes that life is long enough if we use it wisely. Often, we waste time on trivial matters, instead of focusing on what truly matters. This quote encourages us to live more consciously and make the most of our time. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Many of our fears and worries exist only in our minds. Seneca teaches us to distinguish between real problems and imagined anxieties. It's a call not to let unnecessary concerns paralyze us. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Seneca believed that success is not a matter of chance, but of preparation and hard work. This quote reminds us that we can create our own luck by being ready for opportunities when they arise. He who is brave is free. True freedom comes from courage and self-control. Seneca teaches us that we are only free when we overcome our fears and take control of our destiny. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. This quote encourages us to see each day as a new opportunity. It reminds us to live in the present and appreciate every moment. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the wisdom of the ancients. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Let me know in the comments which quote resonated with you the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, every small step you take today can lead to a brighter tomorrow. Until next time, stay curious and keep growing. See you soon.